welcome to another video. I am Debbie. Today I have my weekly WIP and chat, and if you are not familiar with that, it is simply a work in progress. I'm going to be working on this diamond painting, which is Fly Me to the Moon by Josephine Wall from Diamond Painting Deutschland, and I'm going to be working on this sideways. So once I'm completed with this, I'm going to flip it around and show you how much I've gotten done, because I really haven't done a progress update for you guys. And I thought about doing that as a separate video, but decided I'll just show you my progress each week as I complete my WIP and chats. If you would like, pull out something that you would like to work on and work along beside me and keep me company, or you can treat this as a podcast. And you can do whatever you want. If you want to just sit and just listen or watch or clean house or whatever that looks like to you, everything works out perfect for me. So I'm going to be using this gorgeous pen. This is from CraftedMakes, and CraftedMakes Stephen is one of our sponsors for the Josephine Wall event. I'm also going to be using this gorgeous rose gold tray, and this is from DpGalCreations, and it says J-Wall 2023 on the other side. And she is also one of our sponsors. I will put all the sponsors' information down below, and make sure this week that you check in with Kim on her WIP and chat, and she will be having a giveaway. So hopefully you guys are following all three of us. You do not miss any giveaways. The last week's giveaway was from Diamond Painting Shop. And so this week we're going to have another giveaway. And so you'll need to check with Kim to see what that giveaway is. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to start on, let me pick a color. Let's start with an H. That's going to be under letters and numbers. I have not refilled my containers in a while. I probably should have done that. Hopefully I will have enough of the colors that I will need, and I won't have to worry about it. I did just put in a brand new glue dot, so I'm hoping that doesn't give me fits. It probably will for a little bit. I am using a glue dot in my single placer. I am using Randa's putty in my multi. I don't think that I'll be using my multi placer because I'm on a section that is heavy with confetti, and so I just don't see me using that. Let's see. First of all, before we get started, how is everybody doing? I always like to ask. I always am curious what you guys are up to, how everyone is doing, what you're working on, whether it is diamond painting or whatever it may be. I don't know why I do this to myself. I do this every time. It seems like when I go to do a WIP and chat, I'm always using a brand spanking new glue dot. And you'll be fine once I can get it to where it is not trying to pull out of my pen. I hope that everyone is doing well. We have been fighting allergies here. Georgia has had the worst pollen. It has been extremely high. We haven't gotten very much rain lately, so that hasn't helped. And also our weather's been crazy. It's been really cold or it's gotten warm, and it's just not killing off the pollen like it normally does. And so we're all kind of suffering with that. My husband never does. I don't understand how he's lucked out. He doesn't really have bad allergies, but my daughter and I both do. And she is really struggling with her allergies. It may come to the point with her that she's going to have to take an allergy shot. I hope not. but it may be at that point, and we're going to visit her allergist again this week, and hopefully they will just give her some more medication. She's actually been well now for almost 2 months, and for her, that is really good. Let's see, the next one is going to be headphones. I have headphones under medical because my daughter likes to wear headphones to actually reduce some of loud noises and if people are annoying her at school. So we're going to go with the headphones. But she has been well for almost 2 months. That's a record because normally she has been sick. Like, we get her well, and before she even gets off of antibiotics, then she is sick again. So we started seeing an allergist instead of going to her medical doctor, and that's helped out a lot. So we have another appointment on Wednesday, so hopefully that's going to help with her allergies. She was fine, and then she came home on Friday not feeling the greatest, and I think part of it was they were outside quite a bit on Thursday at school. And so that did not help because of the pollen. It was real muggy too. And so I think that started it all over again. If you're not familiar with the Josephine Wall event, I'm going to just briefly describe it, and I'll have more information below if you're interested. I'm not going to go over a lot of the information again because it's not my week for a giveaway prize, but I wanted to show support to all of our sponsors. We cannot thank them enough for all that they've done for us, especially when this is our first event that we've ever hosted. So I am just so thankful that we reached out, and they were all so gracious and more than willing to help. If you're not familiar with Josephine Wall event, you have until the end of April to include your initial photo of where you're starting. Does not have to be a new start, but we're asking that you complete a 30 by 40 section. In a 30 by 40 section, it's really not as large as it sounds because it is in centimeters, and we have 2 months to do it. And if you don't finish the 30 by 40, no worries. You can still participate in weekly giveaways. You would just not be eligible for the grand prize. And we are going to have 3 grand prize giveaways. So each one of us will have a grand prize to give away, and that will be at the end of May. So if you have not started yet, you would like to participate, then you feel free. I do have the information for our Facebook group below. And please join if you would like to do so. You do not have to have Facebook to join. You can just let one of us know, and we'll be glad to go ahead and post that photo for you. I'm going really slow on this because I'm trying not to miss some symbols. And I have quite a large section open, but I do 4 across and 4 down. So that's quite a large section. But normally I can get that section done. I had started on this earlier and knew that I wasn't going to be able to get it finished before I wanted to record my WIP and chat. So I thought I'd go ahead and just work on this section. And of course, this is a very heavy confetti one. So I'm just making sure I don't miss any. And I know I'll miss some. I always do. And as soon as I put up a color, it's like, bam, it just hits me. Like, oh, how did I not see that a minute ago when I had all my colors out? But it's no big deal. I'll go back. And Angie is really smart about that. She has several of the white trays, the real small ones, and she will leave some of her colors out. And so that way, if she realizes that she missed something, then she can easily just go to that particular tray and she's able to pull it out. And that way she doesn't have to go and find the color again and then have to pour some out. So that does save time. And I should probably do that, but I haven't been. I thought I would do some of the whistles. I like to do the ones that really stand out to me first. And that are these white ones, the little whistles. I was hoping by the end of this month, the end of April, to have at least half of this completed, but honestly, I don't see that happening. I might be able to get close, but it's only a week away until the end of the month. I have a lot going on at work and a lot going on in my little part-time job that I also do with teaching. And that's going to be quite a bit of grading this week. So I'm not really sure how much diamond painting time that I will have. If I have quite a bit of time, then I want to focus on this one. My goal really is to get the half, but I still have about 2 more big rows to do. So I doubt what's going to happen. But it would be really nice. And if not, it is fine because I really do not expect to have this completed by the end of the event. I mean, I just don't. I don't think that's going to happen, and I'm not expecting it. If it does, it would be a really nice surprise, but I plan on working on this a little bit in June, but June is going to start another event that I absolutely love, and that's Summer with the Masters. It'll be my 3rd year participating, and I already know which one I want to do. Of course, between now and then, I can change my mind. I have several, but I want to work on one that I've already started on last year and didn't get very far with it. And so I thought, well, I'll just put it up and I'll work on that one this year. And so I'd kind of like to focus on June and July on Summer with the Masters. And of course, it's a confetti heavy, another large one. It is by Alphonse Mucha. And so that one is going to take me a long time to do. So that will be June and July. And then I will have 1 month, August, to where I can go back and work on Summer with the Masters and work on this one. Just maybe work on 1 row at a time for each. And then starting in September, then I won't have that much time because I will want to do the holiday ones coming up. There's 2 in September I want to do for events. And then we'll have Christmas. So it just seems really weird to be thinking of Christmas and end of the year and what I want to get accomplished when, really it's only April. But these take so long to do. And I'm just really enjoying this. So I hope that all of you that are working on large canvases, that you are enjoying it as well. Sometimes I do get a little burnt out, especially on all the confetti. So I do have another one that I'm working on. And I have one I've already finished. And I just spilled a couple of drills. I thought I had gotten them all out. One I have already finished, and that's Sylvester. And that one turned out really cute. Was very easy to do. A lot of color blocking. And so now I'm working on Daffy Duck. And that one's going to be a lot of color blocking as well. I'm hoping to have that one finished by the end of the month. So I'll have 2 completions. Let's see. Normally I start off with my life events, and I just kind of went off tangent here. But let's start on life events. With my life events, it has been a crazy busy week just with things going on with work. The end of the semester is always crazy. Not only is it the end of the semester for me, but it's the end of the semester for my daughter. She actually finishes on the 19th of May, so that is definitely coming up. I'm trying to see what color I want to do. Let's go with, I'm trying to see if there's anything on here that I could do that would actually take a little bit of time, but no. Let's go with this check mark. That is a yellow. Okay, and that is going to be under lines. I have my drills by symbol. It just makes it easier for me. I probably, next time, I'm going to try by color. So I can try something different and see what works best. But anyway, back to life updates. Paige gets out of school on the 19th of May. And then they have a couple of half days. And because she's considered a senior, even though she graduated 2 years ago, she doesn't have to go to the half days. So we're debating if she's going to go to half days or not. I'm not really sure if I'm going to send her for half days. Probably not. There's not much point in it. And then I've got to start looking into the program that will be next up for her. They've called me and they said, well, we will have somebody to call you in the next 48 hours and tell you what you need to do next. Okay, fine. So 48 hours has come and passed. Not only has 48 hours come and passed, 4 months has come and passed. And so I have left several messages and haven't gotten a call back. And then I finally got a call back, and the lady that called me said, you know, I'm so sorry, we are behind and we are short-staffed. We will have someone call you shortly. And so now I am still waiting. So I've tried to talk to the school. The school said they're also having problems with trying to get in touch with them, and they deal directly with this particular program. And so now the school said that they're going to contact the department head that is over this program, and they're going to reach out to that person and then find out, you know, what's going on, what they can do, and trying to get this going. So hopefully I will hear something soon. I'm not planning on doing anything with her in the summer, but come August, that's when she's going to start a program. It's a technical program. It's a VOTEC, and it is for special needs only. And I have to get her in there. Once she's approved there, then I get a grant from the state, and then she can go to these other programs on this grant, so I don't have to pay for anything. And while I don't mind paying for it, some of these programs I heard are very expensive. So I am trying to wait and see, find out, you know, what she can get. In order for her to get some special needs programs, she has to be approved through the VOTEC before I can even think about doing anything. So that's kind of where I am on that. And we're just trucking along, waiting on her to finish school. She's ready, because, I mean, she's been going to school since she was 4 for pre-K, and she will be 22 in August. So she's been going to school for a very long time. And when she actually graduated from high school, because she was in a special needs program, Georgia requires that she go longer. So she had to either be working or she had to go to school until her 22nd birthday. And she's going to age out 2 weeks after school starts back in August. And so the school went ahead and said, you know, unless you just really want to, she doesn't have to come back for 2 weeks. And so I talked to her about it. I talked to her teachers about it. And we all decided there's really no need in her going for that short time. And then also with that, is having to deal with bus issues and having, you know, either that or me taking her. And so it just is to the point of, we think it's just time that she goes ahead and she just finishes. I'm trying to figure out, let's see, I'm looking for another color. Let's go with the one that I think looks like a clock. My daughter thinks it looks like a pie chart. I think it looks like a clock. Now, I thought I already got that one out. Okay, here's my little pie chart. There is one that looks like a clock, and there's one that to me looks like a little pie chart. It's like when I was going to school, even in high school, my kids were in high school, they were learning fractions, they had like a little pie chart, and that to me is what this looks like. How it's just kind of cut at the top. So there's a few of those. I thought about counting how many is in a section because I've seen several do that, and Angie did that, and I thought, oh, I'm not going to do that because if I do, it might make me a little anxious thinking how many colors I'm having to change out. But that is an update with Paige, nothing else. And she did have last week, it was just really funny, and this is like an only Paige moment, that she went to school. Her teacher did not tell us, tell the parents, or tell the kids, young adults, I should say, tell the kids, young adults, that they were having a school carnival. And it was going to be for the entire school, and they could just come and go to this carnival. And so her teacher left out most of the day, blocked it out to where they could just go and have fun at the carnival. And Paige came home with a bunch of candy, and then she came home in her lunchbox with 4 of the really small Cokes. I don't know what size that they are, but they're so small that it's like, you know, 3 or 4 sips and that's it. She doesn't even like Coke. But I was emptying out her lunchbox, and I'm like, what is all this stuff? And what is all this candy? You know, what happened? And so she started busting out laughing, and she said, Mom, you will not believe this. She said, at the carnival, we played pin the tail. They had pin the tail on the donkey, and I played it several times, and I won every time. And she said, it was just amazing. I just couldn't believe that I won so much on pin the tail on donkey, and it was so much fun. I hadn't played pin the tail on donkey in forever. So first of all, with my child being special needs and she is not very coordinated, my first response was, okay, they must have let her win. And she said, no, they actually blindfolded us. So then I was like, really? Because normally she doesn't like that. That would make her very nervous to be blindfolded. So that was another question. I said, well, how did you manage that? And she said, well, their blindfold wasn't very good. So then, you know, I had to ask her another question because you have to kind of pry things out of her sometimes. So, and that's what she wanted. I could tell by the look on her face. She was waiting on my reaction. And so then I asked her, I said, well, do tell, how did you win at pin the tail on the donkey? And she said, well, their blindfold wasn't very good. I could see through the blindfold. And so I said, well, isn't that considered cheating? And she said, no, I didn't cheat. It wasn't my fault that they didn't check their blindfold. They should have checked their blindfold better. So my husband and I just kind of looked at her. We were both dumbfounded. And he kind of threw his arms up. He's like, well, she's got you on that one. So really, it's like, okay, how could I really respond to that? Because, okay, it was their fault that they did not check that the blindfold wasn't very good. And, you know, but then on the other side, it was cheating because she didn't tell them, hey, I can see through this blindfold. So I thought, okay, let's just keep rolling with it. She had a good time, and they gave everybody candy for participating. So, you know, it was no big deal. So anyway, she said, and I didn't want them to know that I couldn't see. And she said, you know, I stumble around anyway. She even admits sometimes she's not so coordinated. And so she said she stumbled around. And so then she was able to just pin the tail on the donkey, and she kept going back to that one because she thought it was fun. Well, another thing that I thought was, okay, these are high school kids. These are 9th graders through 12th graders. And you have 9th graders through 12th graders playing pin the tail on a donkey. Could you not have thought of something different? I mean, that's something that normally you would see in little kids' birthday parties. But Paige said everybody was having a really good time. That was one of the most popular games that they had. Everybody wanted to play pin the tail on a donkey. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then they had several other games that she was telling me about. They had another one where you put, a ball or money or, coin or something underneath cups. And then they tell you, to watch the cup and then determine, where that item is. And Paige said, well, they weren't very good because she said, I got it every time. Well, then I talked to her teacher and he said some of those were really hard. And he said she got it every single time. So he said that he was really impressed with that. So that, helped with her coordinating skills with pin the tail on a donkey. And then it also helped with coordinating skills to watch and to see where the item was that was underneath that cup. So then she won a couple of things there. And then they had different things, like you could throw, basketball, and she actually can throw a ball, but she's not good at like dribbling the ball or running with the ball. But she did pretty good on that too. So that was her fun day. She came home and she was all excited because they got to play all day, which I was really surprised that she would enjoy something like that, but she actually did. And then my oldest daughter, I was telling her, and she said she was surprised that they did that in high school. The high school that she went to, they did not, they had a carnival, but it was for seniors only. And they had different things out there, like the different kinds of slides, for adults and older, kids, the blow-up stuff. And Paige said they didn't have any of the blow-up slides or anything like that, but they did have those games. So I thought that was just a little strange. So if you have kids that are in high school, did they do that? I mean, my oldest is only 24, so it's not like it's been forever since she graduated. And they didn't do that, but it was a different school. And then with Paige, when she was a senior, it was right at the pandemic, and so they didn't have anything. But when she was in high school, they didn't have it for everybody. It was just special days for seniors. And because her entire senior year was during the pandemic, she didn't get to do much of anything. They did ask us if she wanted to walk in the graduation, since they didn't get to do that either. And I didn't think she would want to. She doesn't like to have a lot of attention on her, and she would need somebody to help her. And I guess that person would be either her parapro, or I guess that I could have done it. But I gave her the opportunity, and she said that she really didn't want to. And my oldest said that she would even come down to help her if that's what she wanted, that, she would be her helper, and that we could get approval and that she would do it. And so, no, Paige said she appreciated that her sister would do that for her, but she just really didn't want to. So I didn't press the issue and just decided that, she doesn't want to do it, so that's fine. She doesn't have to. I definitely left, that up to her. So we're not going to have a graduation. But her dad keeps asking her if she would like to go on a graduation trip. And he is all about Disney. I've never seen an adult that's quite like him that loves Disney so much. But he's really wanting to go to Disney, and he thought that would be a good time for him to go, to take her. And she does not want to go to Disney with her dad because he's one of those that can just go, go, go. He doesn't want to stop, doesn't want to take time to eat when he goes to Disney. He walks fast, doesn't slow down, doesn't take breaks, wants to go from the time the park opens until they're actually kicking people out of the park. So she said that she wasn't going to go with him to Disney because he doesn't take breaks and he likes to eat like junk during the day and then have a nice late dinner. And that's not her. She doesn't like doing that. So I told her, I said, just talk to your dad and see what he says. See if maybe he will agree to slow down and to realize that you don't like to go like he does. And Maddie doesn't either. They don't like to just constantly go, and they both get tired and they want to stop and slow down and do other things. And he's just all about it. He doesn't want to miss any time at Disney whatsoever. So he's always running around. And then when Paige gets really hot, she gets really upset. She doesn't like it. She kind of goes into a panic mode. And he said, well, we'll go in October and it won't be hot. And we can even go to, the Halloween things that's there. And I just don't think that she is going to do it. I don't blame her. I remember those days when we used to go and the kids were little and it was tough. Trying to deal with kids, trying to keep up with him. Of course, I had the stroller with both the kids in it. And then when the kids got older, it was like trying to keep up with the kids, trying to keep them happy and not tired. And a lot of times I would take one of the kids back to the hotel and we would do some things there and he would just go and do his thing. But if he goes, it would just be him and her. And so she wouldn't be able to go back to the hotel by herself. So that's something that she's going to have to think about and work out with her dad. Let's see, what am I going to do next? Let's do the hand. The hand is under body parts. Some of these make total sense of where I put them, and some of them do not. Let's see, what else? Last week I had mentioned if you guys would keep my oldest daughter, Maddie, in your thoughts, that she had an interview with a hospital in South Dakota, and it was with an HR manager, and then the HR manager would determine if she would move up and have an actual interview with the hiring manager. So she had an interview on Monday, I think it was Monday or Tuesday of last week, and then the very next day, they wanted her to have an interview with the hiring manager. And so she did. And she said she thought the interview went really well. They were looking to replace 3 people that were leaving because they actually were graduating and they were moving into, one was moving into nursing. And then another was actually going to do their internship for another position, and the third one decided they were going to medical school. So they were looking for 3 at one time. They had several that they were interviewing, and she was really hoping that she would get that job. They said that they would train, but she found out on Friday that she did not get that job, that they really did like her, but that they found 3 people that actually had already had that position before, and they knew, a lot more because they had been working at a different hospital in that type of position. So she didn't get that position, and so she was really disappointed about it, but she said she was going to keep looking. They told her that she had interviewed really well, and that if one of them didn't work out or decided that they didn't want the position, that she would be on their list. So she was a little upset about it. And then on Monday, which is today for me, first thing early Monday morning, she had gotten a call from someone else at that hospital. And they said they had another position that just opened. They thought of her, and they wanted to know if she'd be interested. And the hiring manager that interviewed her last week was so impressed with her that he told this other hiring manager about her. And so the hiring manager was really interested, wants to meet her. And so she is going to have an interview on Wednesday of this week. And it's a very similar position, but it is in a different department. So she is really excited about that. And she may even change her major to nursing. She's not sure yet, but she's been thinking about it. She thought about it before when she was looking into radiology, but she's always talked about radiology. And so now she is kind of moving and changing around a little bit of what she thinks that she wants to do. So we'll see. And she definitely said that they want to either move back to Georgia when their lease is up, which is, I think, next February, and either move there or move to North Carolina. So either one would be close, of course, closer to us anywhere in Georgia, since we live in Georgia. Or if, she goes to North Carolina, that would be close to, I think it's like 3 or 4 hours of what they're talking about. So we'll see. But if she gets a job at the hospital, she wants to stay there for at least a year and get some experience, go ahead and hopefully finish school. And then when they move, she can get a job anywhere, and it will be very easy for her. So they're going to talk about that if she does get this position. So as much as I would like for her to come back home, sooner rather than later, if she does get a job in a hospital, that would be an excellent opportunity. And she would not get that here because there are so many that are applying for jobs that do have experience. So we'll see, but please keep her in your thoughts. So she was really excited when she called me this morning to let me know. And they're even going to show her around, that if she had gotten a job, if she gets a job, she likes it, they offer it to her and she wants it, they are showing her around where she would be working to meet some of the people. So it sounds very promising. So I hope that that works out for her. And another thing that happened last week with her is that her boyfriend proposed to her. So she knew that, or she expected that it was going to be coming. She just didn't know when. And they had been together for 3 years. And so that's what she really was hoping that he would propose to her before they went to South Dakota, and he didn't. And they'd been talking about it. And so he proposed to her last week. So now they're talking about, when they want to get married. And I think they're talking about next September. So it's still a long time off, but they need the time because she's going to have to plan for a wedding. She wants a small wedding here in Georgia. And also with what exactly do they want to do? Where do they want to move? What do they want to do before they do it? And I try to tell them this before they moved to South Dakota. For starters, that they weren't going to like South Dakota. I didn't think either one of them would. And another thing was, you need to go visit where you're going to move before you just up and move. Don't just get a job and then you decide, I think that I will like it there. I mean, how do you know? Because you hadn't been there. And so it's like, listen to someone that is older than you. Listen to your mother, to her. And even his parents said, I don't think you're going to like South Dakota. So he didn't listen to his parents either. She didn't listen to her stepdad or her dad or myself. And so she just decided, well, we're going to move. We want to do something different than Georgia. We want to experience something different. So now they realize experiencing something different isn't always the best. Was not the best idea to spend all that money and move. Their apartment is brand new, but apparently it's not the greatest. And so the town that they're living in is extremely small, and they realize they don't want to be in a small town. They don't like the food in South Dakota. They feel like the food's not as good as Georgia. And I think it's just because of what they had gotten used to here. I'm sure the food is fine there, but she's pretty picky. I think that he is too. So it'll be nice to find out what's going to happen with her. She really wants to work for a hospital and to get out of working in a grocery store. So we'll see. We will find out probably the end of this week about that job. And I like that she always calls me when things happen. She called me. I was the first one that she called when he proposed. It would have been nice if he would have called, but that's another story. I'm not going to go there, but I'm happy for her if she is happy. I'll just say that. I'm really happy for her. That's what she wants, and I think that if they work things out together, I think that it's going to be good for both of them. Especially instead of just living together, at least they will be married. And they will be able to have, they can save money too, because they can be on each other's insurance if they need to be, and not get insurance separate, which is costing them more. So she contacted her sister. That was the second person that she called. She contacted Paige, and she said that she wanted Paige to be a bridesmaid. And Paige said that, she was so excited and she needed to do some research on what is a bridesmaid and what does bridesmaids do. And I'm like, you don't have to do all this research, but Paige loves research. And then and of course, Madison told Paige, you're going to have to look for a dress. You're going to have to help Mom. And there's certain colors I want. And so Paige, being Paige, she got right on it. So she started looking online, and I'm like, we're not going to find a dress online. We're going to go and we'll look for a dress, but we're not going to look for a dress this far out. And it's a long time off, so don't talk to me every day about what you need to do for the wedding. Because once Paige gets something in her mind, she will not let go of it. So I guess that we will be talking about this until things are done. So we will see, but I hope so far she hasn't really said much more about it. And it's not that I'm not happy. I'm excited for Madison. It's just I am not happy for Paige to be talking to me for an entire year about clothes and things. Because she won't let it go. Nothing will stop her. And she's watching videos about weddings and wedding planners. But it's giving her something to do. It gives her a purpose. It gives her something else to research. She loves to research. So that is definitely good for her. And it's something that she can do with her sister, so that's even better, because they are very close, and Paige misses her terribly. So that's really updates on my kids. Nothing else has happened with me this week. I'm kind of like a boring old lady, to be honest. Nothing really happens. I really appreciate you guys that have reached out and said how much you enjoy my WIP and chats, and that you can get so much done by listening. And I really, really do appreciate it, because I just don't think that I'm that interesting. I listen back to my WIP and chats and I'm like, oh, wow, okay. What else could I say that would be interesting? But I don't want to lie and make something up. So my life is just what it is. Work has been good. And with it being the end of the semester, we do fun things there too. And today we have Chick-fil-A for students as they start to prepare for their finals. And they also will have Chick-fil-A for instructors. And if you don't know, Chick-fil-A is it's a fast food, but their chicken sandwiches, I think, are better than fast food. But anytime we do something with our church or with school, it seems like Chick-fil-A always is what's being served. So they must either have really good deals for churches and for schools, or they do a lot of the free things, complimentary. I have no idea. But we do get Chick-fil-A quite a bit. And I'm happy with that. I love Chick-fil-A. Not a problem with me. I will get a salad, or I will get chicken strips and a side salad. So it's halfway healthy. It's fried. They don't usually have grilled that they send out, but it will be a nice change from my boring old salads that I bring to work all the time. So that's nice. And then we do have other things that goes on at work that will have different activities. We'll have a little carnival too. We also have, what I really enjoy, my family really enjoys it, is that we will have towards the end of the semester, which really is coming up and we hadn't heard anything. And then they'll also do it this summer for students, is they have movie night on the lawn. And so we can bring our own lawn chairs and coolers if we want to. They have dinner for us, and we can watch a movie. They bring out these huge screens, and we get to watch a movie on the lawn with some of my instructor, friends, and students are there. And most of the time the movie, they'll tell us what the movie is. Most of the time it's pretty good. There were a couple last year that I asked Paige if she wanted to go, and she didn't have any desire. But it's nice because you can bring your lawn chairs. And what we did last year is, my husband has a pickup truck. We took his truck. We put our lawn chairs out on the back of the truck bed, and we took some snacks. That should not be there. We took some snacks and we watched the movie, and we just had a really fun time. And these screens are huge, and they have like loudspeakers, and so it's a lot of fun. And we'll do that again. I hope that they'll do it soon. I hope it's a good movie. Most of the movies are a little bit older. They're really careful with what movies that they do show, because it's a school, and we do have some high schoolers that go and take some classes while they're in high school. And of course, a lot of instructors have kids, and so they're going to make sure that it's family friendly. So that will be coming up soon. I need to check on that now that I think about it. Let's see, what else? I am getting excited about the retreat, the actual diamond painting retreat that's coming up in June. I've been a little nervous about it, and so now it's like everything's coming together. I have a ride from the airport to the retreat. There's at least 3 of us that are renting a car, and so I really didn't want to drive in a strange place. I mean, if I had to, I would, but I preferred not to. And so we have someone else that says they didn't mind driving at all. And so they're going to rent the car, and then we're going to all go in and pay for the car, and that will be nice. So I'm trying to decide now, what am I going to take to work on? Of course, again, I still have plenty of time, but I'm a planner, and so I like to plan out what I'm going to be doing and when. I'm thinking about taking 2 small paintings and then taking probably a paint gem or 2 that I can take, because there's at least 15 in each paint gem. So I might do that. I'm afraid that I'll get really bored if I do a paint gem for that long. It's 4 days, and I don't know. So I'm kind of debating. I know that a couple people that have been listening, they're also going to the retreat. So if you want to put underneath the description what you're planning on taking, I would love to know. This is my first time going to this retreat. My first time ever going to a diamond painting retreat. I have been to many, many retreats that have been craft related, but not diamond painting. Trying to find another color, not diamond painting. And so I'm really curious to see how much I can get done and see how much others are going to get done. So that's going to be kind of fun. What do I want to do? Let's see. I am debating. Let me see. I'm trying to find something besides these boring. The section that I'm in, I hate to say, but it is a little on the boring side. But it will pick up. It always does. And doing this sideways, I'm having to think, okay, which one? Looking at it sideways, that is going to be this one. Okay. And then I also have Pac-Man. I'll do Pac-Man. I'm working on her hair. That is what all this bright colors is. And when I was working on like the sky, it wasn't that bad. But this one's just kind of boring because all you see are these wisps of hair. So that's kind of funny. My husband and I went to his hometown and had to pick up some things that his family didn't need anymore. And so that his mom wanted to get rid of. So we did that on Saturday. And then we went to a festival that was in our small town, and we haven't been in years. So we went to this festival. Paige really didn't want to go. She didn't really feel like getting out because of her allergies. And so we just kept her at home. I'm glad that I did because it was packed. And we had to walk a good distance. And it was actually chilly. We ended up getting warm because we had jackets. And in the sun, it got pretty warm, especially walking as far as we did. But we had to pay for parking, which that was fine. And then you could get in for free. You didn't have to pay to get in. But they had a lot of food vendors there from around here. And then they had a couple of food trucks. They had a lot of craft booths. And so that's what I was most interested in. So I went to some of these craft booths, and some of the things that they had was so expensive. It was really cute ideas, but it was just really pricey. They had some really pretty watercolor paintings, and it was actually framed. And so there was one that I saw that I really liked that would have actually gone very well with a diamond painting that I have in my stash. And I looked at the price. It was $260, and that was without the frame. If you wanted the one that was framed, it was another $100+. So I'm like, nope, not worth it. And then I found a diamond painting booth, and so I went in there, and this lady was selling diamond paintings that she did that were either from Amazon or they were discount diamond painting companies. There weren't any that were premium companies, and she did them. She did not have any in a frame. And there was one that I had seen on a discount site that's like $4. She was selling that thing for $300 and something, and it was a partial. It was a partial diamond painting that she probably paid $3 or $4 for. She did this partial, and then there was another one that I was looking at, and it had some missing drills. Now that one was, it was a Diamond Art Club on that one. That was the only premium that I did see. It was Diamond Art Club, and she was selling that one for over $300, and it was a small. And then she had a couple that she didn't do that, you know, they were the canvas, they were the kits. And she did have one from Diamond Art Club, and it was a princess panel. And those are discontinued. So I guess that because they were discontinued, she thought she could sell it at a premium. And it was one that I didn't have. I would have liked to have it. And so I saw it. I looked at the price and I just busted out laughing. And so I was trying, you know, not to be rude. I didn't want her to think that I was laughing at her prices, but I was laughing at her prices. She wanted $425 for this kit, and didn't come with a toolkit. It came with drills, but I didn't look like all the drills were even there. And I thought, well, I guess somebody might buy it, but that somebody's not going to be me. I don't care how much I loved it. It's like, okay, it wasn't even in the original box on top of that. So that worried me. And then she wanted that much money, which I would never pay that much for a diamond painting. It's just not going to happen. And on top of that, your warranty is voided if you're not the one that did not initially buy that kit. So anybody that buys that kit, if there's something wrong with it, if there's not enough drills, you're on your own, because Diamond Art Club's not going to give you the warranty when you didn't buy it. But I was shocked that it was that much. I was just really surprised. And we were there for a while. I passed by couple of times there just because we were going in that direction, and so I would look, and it didn't look like she had sold anything, but I could understand why she didn't sell anything. And there were some items that she was selling that I had seen on discount companies that were, say, $5. And I even looked a couple up. My husband's like, well, that doesn't look like it would be a very good diamond painting for that price. And so I got on my phone, looked up how much that it was, and it was like $4.50. She was selling it for $35. So I understand, you know, she wanted a profit, but that was just a little steep for me. We ended up getting, which is really funny, we got a snow cone. We were there just walking around, just looking. My husband was interested in some woodworking, and so he looked at those prices, and those were really high too. Things that he could easily do that they were, you know, their prices were really high, and a lot of places were selling. And so he's just looking for something that he wants to do just as a hobby. He loves woodworking, and so he was just looking to see, you know, how much these people were charging on certain things. So that got him fired up. So now he wants to start getting back into woodworking again. So I guess that was one good thing. And I hadn't had a snow cone in years. And they had a Kona ice truck, which they have at high school sometimes, like when they had the high school games and things my daughter went to. And so my husband's like, let's get a snow cone. So we did. And I don't know, I just told them, they said, do you want a variety? They had called it a rainbow snow cone. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I don't know what all the flavors were on there, but there was a lot, but it was really good. So we did that, and then we came home and I diamond painted some, played with the dogs. And another thing, thinking of dogs, I have never seen so many dogs in one place. I mean, granted, this was outside. It was in our little downtown area. And there were so many dogs, and they were all so well behaved. And so my husband's like, you know, good thing we didn't bring Molly up here, our collie, because she would have gone absolutely crazy with so many animals there and people, and she would have just gone nuts. So there was no way that we could have taken her to something like that. And so that just tells me, I think we need to find somebody to train her. And there were some service dogs there too. There were some therapy dogs and some service dogs there. And I really would like to have Molly as Paige's service dog. I don't know if you can do that with any dog, meaning that you don't have to train the dog as a puppy to be a service dog, because Molly's almost 3. But she's a very fast learner, and she absolutely loves Paige. That is her person. So I'm going to check that out just to see how much that it would cost to have her trained, what we would have to do, and if it would even be something that we could consider. My husband thinks I'm crazy. He said that Molly would never be able to do that, but I think she could. And collies are so smart, and they are working dogs. And so I think that that would give her a purpose, and I think Molly would really like it. But that could just be me thinking that because I want to have Molly as a service dog. As far as diamond painting, let me see. Anything going on other than our event is going very strong, and I am slowly working on mine. There's really nothing else in diamond painting world that I have updates on, except I'm working on some smaller ones in the evenings. I do have some unboxings that are coming up this week that I'm excited about. I am waiting on a couple of companies that I've ordered a while back, and I knew that it would take some time. So once those come in, I definitely want to unbox. Oh, I do have, and I'm going to add it because I've had several that have mentioned that they enjoyed watching it, is that I added to my playlist for the week. I'm going to be working on my converted cross stitch, and I had my first video on me actually working on it on last Saturday. I will put that up in the top of the eye in case you're interested in seeing that. So I did a WIP and chat on that one. Did not get very far because it is really hard, or hard for me, to be able to think about what I am talking about, and then also laying drills where I have to be a little more aware of what drills that I'm laying down, or my canvas isn't going to come out. So it is like cross stitch, but you do it on a blank canvas, and it's already poured glue is what I am using. And so I'm really enjoying it. I've gotten a little bit more done. So I'm going to do that again on Saturday to see if that is still going to be a hit. I'm hoping to have more done that I can show you, and then also do more than one square. I only did one square last week, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to talk more now that I was able to do one of those. I can talk more and also work on that kit. So that will help those of you that like to listen to WIP and chats and also work on kits. So I will do that one again. And I need to add to my drills. I have drills I have stored for that kit because there's so many drills, and they won't all fit in my container. So I do need to fill some of those up before I start working on it again. But I'm hoping that I can work on it a little bit every day. And then there is an event that's coming up in September, I believe, that is hosted by Single and Placing Anthony and also Sparkling Spectronite Hannah. And they even have one more person. I'm not really sure. If they do, I will definitely include that next time and let you guys know. But I thought that would be something that if I started working on it, then I could work on that during their event as well. And you know, just to support them in their event, and then also to help me get a little bit further with it. Because I love doing it, but then I get so wrapped up with other kits that I kind of just have it on my other table, and you know, out of sight, out of mind for me. So if I have it out, if I have it to where I'm going to do something with it weekly, then I will do that. So that's going to get me motivated and moving on this. And I want to see what it looks like. What I really enjoy about diamond painting, one of the things I really enjoy is seeing a canvas come to life. Like on this one, because it is double-sided adhesive, it doesn't have the clear cover, so I can't see what's coming up. And when I'm working on it, I'm working on it at a very close range. And on a lot of these, you can't tell what's going on until you step back. And that's the same thing with my converted cross stitch as well as this one, is that once I step back, it's like, oh, I can see this is the start of her hair, or this is a moon, you know, or this is going to be a butterfly. And so I think that is just so much fun. I love seeing that. I like to see how everything can come together and how it all of a sudden it just starts working. So that's one thing that I'm looking forward to on my converted cross stitch, is that the more that I do, the more of that one I'm going to start seeing. So that's really all that I have for diamond painting. I will have at the end of the month, or the beginning of next month, I will have my month in review and show you what I've completed, and then show you my work in progress, which more than likely will just be this one. I don't want to work on two work in progress at one time. I work on a small one that I hope to get finished, and then I'll work on this one. So I'm going to flip this around, and I am going to show you what all I've gotten done for the week, as well as what I've gotten done on this WIP and Chat. So let me rearrange everything that I have, and then I will be right back. Okay, this is what I've gotten done, which I think has turned out really pretty. I've gotten quite a bit done in just really 3.5 weeks. This is the beginning of, well, this is the beginning of the 4th week. So I've gotten all of this top part here, which is the moon, and then the stars up here, and then more of the actual clouds. And then if you look on this side, this part is the wispy part of her hair. And so that's what that is too. So I'm working down that way, and I am working on 4 each time, 4 up and 4 across. And so I am going to be working, usually I will work either from right to left or left to right, going back this way. And I am trying to just go by rows instead of going straight down. If you look down here, we'll go up some here. This is the actual double-sided adhesive paper. Once I get to this section right here, I'm going to lift that up some, to this section right here, that is going to be the halfway mark. So I'm getting closer, but I still have a long way to go. And I thought I would take the actual double-sided adhesive off and replace that with just cover paper, and so release paper. And so I did that on the top half. I don't really like it. So once I finish all of this part here that has the release paper on it, then I'm going to keep this paper on here and I'll just take it off once I finish each section. But I think I've gotten quite a bit done. I mean, the top part really did not have a lot of confetti, but this over here has tons of confetti, and that is because of her hair, because her hair is so many different colors. When I get over back to this section that is over here, this is going to be a lot of color blocking. So that's going to be nice. So that'll go by faster. And then I'll move down this way some. So I'll have 4 down. And I'll have to move the release papers around is what I do. But it looks like a lot of this is going to be this half part over here. That's going to also be a lot of confetti, which I love confetti. It does slow me down. It's nice to have a little bit of color blocking mixed in with confetti. So that part's nice. But I will work on that. I will finish this section today, later on today, in between me having to work. I need to put some more of my washi tape down. I'm going to have to use a different color, so I don't know how it's going to look, because Molly, my lovely dog, decided that she wanted to play with my washi, and I didn't realize what she was doing. I thought she was playing with her toy, but no, she was playing with my washi, and of course it had dog slobber all over it, so I could not put that on my canvas. I love her, but I don't want dog slobber on my canvas. So anyway, I'm going to try to find just a solid pink and put that on there. I don't know if this will even come off because it's down pretty good. The double-sided adhesive is very strong. It did go over the sides, and you can see over here starting to get dirty. So I need to put something up there soon. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That really does help with getting my videos out there. And if you like this content, please click on the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And I hope that you enjoyed your time with me. Thanks so much for spending time with me today while I diamond painted and rambled. Love to hear from you in the comments below. And until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.